Hey everyone, I'm Phoebe and I want to talk about the different types of spirits. I'm a tarot reader, I'm a medium, I do a lot of different stuff. So I was at an event last weekend or the weekend before doing a show, and you know, in our line of work you just get a feeling about people, yeah. So this woman came over and immediately I was like, okay, she's got a grandmother with her. And so she sat down, and literally the first thing I said was, okay, your grandmother is here and she's saying this, this, and this, and this. And she was the type of energy that you wouldn't argue with. Like, she was old school, proper old school. And like, she was giving me, you get some spirits who bend your ear so much you get a headache, and because they come through so strongly, sometimes you do end up getting a really, really bad headache or an earache. And this woman, oh my god, she was making my ear burn. She was giving me a pressure up here. And she was probably one of the most stubborn spirits I've ever come across in my life. And when you have a reading, like if you actually go to events and stuff like that and you book in with someone, you may not always get spirit come through. And again, this is part of the same example. So this first woman sat down, and her grandmother was there, passed on the messages and this and that. And then her friend swapped over, and her friend had no spirit at all come through for her. And I'm not one of those people, one of those mediums who will call on spirits. I do a reading, and if they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're not. That's my own personal preference. I don't believe that you should force the spirit to be there. That's just how I am. Yeah, so, and sometimes you would just get some spirits who just, and I've had it before when I've gone to people's houses, which is sometimes worse because of the energy there, especially, and this one particular one, literally her grandmother was in the kitchen in the background, and oh my god, she would not shut up. And sometimes I think because they're so eager to be heard, they forget the reading's not about them, it's about their relation that you're reading for. So that's actually, in a way, that's also kind of my favourite type of spirit, because when you're doing readings, you'll sometimes get spirits who will come in, but then they'll just be really, really quiet, especially male spirits. They tend to be the most quiet, in my opinion, anyway, because they kind of say their piece and that's it. Whereas the women tend to have a lot more opinionated. So sometimes it's better when they come for a bit more forceful, but it can drain the reader like you wouldn't believe. So just bear in mind, if you have a reading with someone, you may not always get someone come through. Unfortunately, that's just the way of life. I think you just have to watch which reader you want to go to and what type of reading that you're looking for. Because again, you'll get some people who'll go for readings and who don't want mediumship. They want just to talk about situations, to find out what's going to happen, and stuff like that. So just definitely keep an open mind when it comes to readings. Yeah. Oh my god, she gave me a headache, that lady did.